everybody, what's going on? Kio-chan here, and welcome to another manga review on SomethingNewOtaku. And today's review is in the manga Butterflies Come in Flowers by Yuki Yoshihara. It's an amazing series, though it does come with a warning. There is explicit content, and that means your younger readers probably shouldn't be reading it. Because later in the series there are sexual situations. So I would say that this manga series is appropriate for anyone who's of the age of 17 and older. Though younger readers may be able to read it depending on their maturity level and what their parents allow them to read. Usually in my manga reviews I go right into the main characters, but since the first chapter of this series does such a great job in analyzing the characters, I'm just going to talk about that instead. Besides, there's a lot of stuff that goes down in the first chapter, and I really can't talk about the characters without talking about the first chapter. And it's just so damn exciting, I just couldn't help myself. So, let's get into it. So we have our two main characters, Choko and Director Domito. And at the beginning of the manga, we see a job interview for Choko where she's looking to get this entry-level position at an office complex. And Director Domito is the one who's conducting this interview. And he asks her a very inappropriate question. He asks her, "Are you a virgin?" I'm not kidding. Here's the first page. Just so you know I'm not lying. This is what, see? He asked her that. Seriously? I mean, really, if it were me and somebody asked me that question in a job interview, the first thing I would do is shout sexual harassment and I would call the police on him. But she didn't. She actually answered the question, and throughout the whole process, she actually got this job. We also find out that Choko used to belong to a really powerful aristocratic family, but because of troubled times, they lost their position in society. They lost their money, they lost their land, and they lost all their servants. So now the family is working in this restaurant, and that's pretty much how they're making their living. Her younger brother really doesn't like this whole idea. He still has this aristocratic attitude about him, and so does Choko, depending on the situation, but he's really like dead set on like, I'm really this level person and you can't talk to me that way and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, Choko ends up working for Director Domito at this office complex, and she thinks she's gonna work her way up like everyone else does in society. Well, it turns out that Director Domito has other plans for her. He ends up dragging her to his department, which is the administration level, and that is the most responsible job that you could have at this office. So she's really confused on why she was brought there. You know, she feels kind of guilty about it, that, you know, she wanted to work up and then boom, she's there. And Director Domito says that he is going to train her himself. So he has a real interest in her, and that's kind of pissing off her co-workers, and this creates a lot of tension in the office. We find out that Director Domito has two sides to him. At the office, he's a real tyrant. He bosses everyone around, he demands things like on the snap of a finger, and then there's this other side which he only really shows to Choko. And the reason for that is because these two actually have a past together. That's the reason why he felt comfortable by asking that question to her at the beginning of the job interview. Of course, she didn't know the connection until an incident that happened at the office, which I'll explain in a second. So we find out because of this incident that Director Domito actually was one of the servants that was hired by her family, and he was forced to leave when Choko was only 7 years old. So he used to always call her Milady, and that's what triggered the memory for Choko during this incident when he called her that. So she finds out that he's the servant, and is like really shocked that now he's her boss, and like this weird relationship starts to form between them. So it really develops into this really romantic kind of story, and it's really awesome. I'm not going to tell you what happens during this little incident because, you know, I want you guys to find out a little bit without me telling you everything. So it's absolutely awesome. I love it, hands down. It's like one of my favorite series right now. There's 6 volumes out right now. I think the next one's coming out next month or so. It's coming out pretty soon, I know that, and I can't wait to read that. So if this sounded pretty interesting to you, please check it out. Go to Borders, I think that's where you can pretty much get it these days, and pick that up. It's totally worth your time, so I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. I'm not sure if there's anywhere you can read it legally. I will do some research on that. If there is a place, there'll be a link down below to where you can read it. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say for this review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!